Well, today is the day that I go to meet Ulfric Stormcloak properly this time. But before I do that, I'm going to go and pay my respects at the Temple of Talos, of all places. Of all the things that I thought would happen, I never once thought that I would actually be able to step foot into a real temple devoted to Talos, where priests serve openly and the statues aren't torn down. Wow. I'm actually standing in a real temple to Talos. One that hasn't been destroyed. I have been waiting for this day ever since I first understood what it meant that we worshipped an outlawed god. I wish my mother could be here to see this. I wish Brother Roland could be here, and all the people back home who haven't had this opportunity. Well, I'm not going to waste it. Talos, you are the divine whose sphere is war. Help me to understand this war that is being waged in your name. Help me to see both sides clearly and to know which cause is more true. Let me understand what course of action would best serve you, to bring you back to the place where you belong, in the hearts of all who worship the divines. Thank you for your blessing, and watch over me today as I go to speak with Ulfric Stormcloak. All right, Garm. It's now or never. If I keep stalling, I'm never going to get around to doing what I came here to do. Let's go see Ulfric. Well, how are we going to do this? I mean, so far, I've been telling everyone that I'm here in my capacity as a bard. And I suppose I could do that. I could say that I'm there hoping for the opportunity to play for him. Well, that's not intimidating or anything.
A few septims for my supper is all I ask.
The Palace of Kings. This is a place where Ysgramor himself, along with many other kings of Skyrim, have ruled.
I ask only for
And now Ulfric Stormcloak rules here, though he does not rule all of Skyrim. Not yet, anyway. So what should I do? Claim that I'm here to play for him? Well, I could say that I'm just here to make a delivery. I was asked to deliver something to his court mage. Or maybe I should just be honest and tell him the truth. That I'm here because my mother sent me.
I ain't asking for much.
Well,
Just a few septims.
I guess I'll figure it out when I get in there.
And what would you have me do?
They're talking about Whiterun.
If he's not with us, he's against us.
Perhaps I shouldn't interrupt.
He knows that. They all know that.
How long are you going to wait?
You think I need to send Balgruff a stronger message?
If by message you mean shoving a sword through his gullet.
What?
Taking his city and leaving him in disgrace would make a more powerful state.
So they're planning to take Whiterun.
So we're ready to start this war in earnest then?
Soon.
I still say you should take them all out like you did dead King Torrik.
Torrik was merely a message to the other Jarls. Whoever we replace them with will need the support of our armies.
We're ready when you are.
Things hinge on Whiterun. If we can take the city without bloodshed, all the better. And if not,
The people are behind you.
many, I fear, still need convincing.
And let them die with their false kings.
We've been soldiers a long time. We know the price of freedom. But people are still weighing things in their hearts.
What's left of Skyrim to wager?
They have families to think of.
How many of their sons and daughters follow your banner? We are their families.
Well put, friend. Tell me, Galmar, why do you fight for me?
I'd follow you into the depths of oblivion.
Oh, I'd better step back.
Yes, but why do you fight?
I don't want to
If
seem
not
like
for
I'm
me, what then?
eavesdropping.
I'll die before elves dictate the fates of men. Are we not one in this?
I fight for the men I've held in my arms, dying on foreign soil. I fight for their wives and children whose names I heard whispered in their last breath. I fight for we few who did come home, only to find our country full of strangers wearing familiar faces. I fight for my people, impoverished to pay the debts of an empire too weak to rule them, yet brands them criminals for wanting to rule themselves. I fight so that all the fighting I've already done hasn't been for nothing. I fight because I must.
Your words give voice to what we all feel, Ulfric. And that's why you will be High King. But the day words are enough will be the day when soldiers like us are no longer needed.
I would gladly retire from the world, were such a day to dawn.
Aye, but in the meantime, we have a war to plan.
Well, he's certainly charismatic and well-spoken. I can understand why someone might want to fight for this man. He seems to really believe in what he's saying. I can understand why my mother admired him so much. Oh, now I'm even more nervous about speaking with him, but... well... there's nothing for it. Jarl Ulfric.
Only the foolish or the courageous approach a Jarl without summons. Do I know you?
Well... as a matter of fact, we have met before. Though not under very pleasant circumstances. I was at Helgen.
Ah, yes. Destined for the chopping block, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed. I was set free, and I could have gone anywhere, but I came here to speak with you about the war.
A fair point. Well, you've come to the right place then. Speak with Galmar. I'm
Galmar.
always looking for able fighters. Not everyone can say they made it out of Helgen.
You're one of the
Seems
few.
we're all branded villains these days. So long as your criminal past stays in the past, and you fight for me with honor and integrity, we'll welcome you into our ranks.
My only crime was crossing the border so that I could come here and find out what's going with the war. I will speak with Gelmar, you said, but first, I came here because I specifically wanted to speak with you.
Speak with Galmar. He'll size you up and see where we can best use your talents.
He tells me again to speak with his second-in-command, but that's not why I'm here. Jarl Ulfric, I tell him. My name is Edda Wintertongue. I see the recognition in his eyes, a flicker of confusion first, then realization. My mother served alongside you in the Great War. He rolls out her name slowly, as if remembering the shape of a word he has not spoken in a long time. Rona. He seems far away for a moment, and then his attention focuses back on me. And how does my old comrade fare after all these years? Well, I think, but I'm not sure if that is entirely true. I don't remember my mother often being happy. She used to laugh more when I was a child, but lately she seems troubled and restless. But all I say is, she keeps a farm near Bruma now. A farmer. Not the life I would have expected for her. I want to ask him what life he would expect, but he doesn't give me the chance. What brings Rona's child to my city? Do you come on her behalf or your own? A few weeks ago, that would have been an easy question to answer. Now, I'm not so sure. Both, I finally say. My mother raised me on stories of the Great War, stories of battle. But she rarely spoke of her own actions in the war. Most of the stories were about you. Ah, and I suppose you want to see if those stories are true? No, I believe they are true. Mother isn't the sort to exaggerate or embellish. What I hoped is that you might have some stories of your own. He studies me before he answers, but I can't tell what he's searching for. Perhaps. What is it that you wish to know? A good question, and I'm not sure I have an answer, but one begins to form in my mind. Mother has told me about some of the people she met in the war, people like you, who she fought beside. I have to think about how to phrase this question. I suppose you must have known many of the same people. She told me that she met my father during the war. Did you? I will not speak of that matter. For a second, I think that he's about to strike me. But no. In the sudden silence, I try to compose myself. Very well. Then, will you speak of more current matters? This new war you're fighting. It seems to be a safer subject than the old one. Well, I suppose we should get to the business at hand. I wish to hear your thoughts on the war. I want to know why you've chosen to fight. I do understand that you're fighting for Skyrim and for Talos, but at Helgen, when we were both about to be executed, they said that you shouted the High King to death?
Not entirely true, though not entirely false either. Any Nord can learn the way of the voice by studying with the Greybeards, given enough ambition and dedication. My shouting Torg to the ground proved he had neither. However, it was my sword piercing his heart that killed him.
I see. Well, that's a different story than the one that some people have been telling. It's good to hear your side. But why did you kill the High King?
I killed Toruk to prove our wretched condition. How is the High King supposed to be the defender of Skyrim if he can't even defend himself?
A fair point. Though some call you a murderer.
I challenged him in the traditional way, and he accepted. There were many witnesses. No murder was committed. True, he didn't stand a chance against me. But that was precisely the point. He was a puppet king of the Empire, not a High King of Skyrim. His father before him, perhaps, but not Toruk. He was too privileged and too foolish. More interested in entertaining his queen than ruling his country.
Speaking of his queen... what of his queen, his widow? Doesn't she now claim the throne?
Indeed. Elisif has become Jarl of Solitude. Historically and conveniently home of the High King, backed by imperial interests. But the Moot has not yet met to name her High Queen. And they won't. Not as long as I have any say in it.
So, do you desire to be the High King of Skyrim, then?
There hasn't been a true High King in Skyrim for generations. For too long, he's been handpicked by the Emperor, and given emphatic nods by milk-drinking Jarls addicted to imperial coin. It's time we had a real High King, one of our own making.
And that High King would be you, if you win this war. Is that why you're fighting this war, then?
We're fighting because we're done bleeding for an empire that won't bleed for us. Untold numbers of Nords died defending the Empire against the Dominion. And for what? Skyrim being sold to the Thalmor so the Emperor could keep his throne. We're fighting because our own Jarls, once strong, wise men, have become fearful and blind to the people's suffering. We're fighting because Skyrim needs heroes, and there's no one else but us.
I see. And it seems that you've been fighting for a long time. You fought in the war. You fought to free the Empire from the control of the Thalmor. How is it that you became the Jarl here in Eastmarch?
My father, the Great Bear of Eastmarch, died during my imprisonment after the Markarth incident.
The Markarth incident?
I, his only son, forced to deliver his eulogy via letter I had smuggled out of prison. Such is the love of Titus Mead for his subjects. When finally set free, I returned to Windhelm and was greeted by a city in mourning, at one with my own grief and anger, clamoring in angry voices, calling out for justice, for war. They sat me on the throne of Ysgramor, the throne of my father. I only hope I can prove worthy of that honor.
Well, you've given me a great deal to think about, Jarl Ulfric. I will consider the things that you've told me today. And I will speak with Galmar, although I'm not sure that I'm yet ready to join this war. Thank you for giving me your time.
Take care.
And you as well. I'm not sure what to think of all this. Though it is clear, very, very clear, that Ulfric Stormcloak is a man of great passion. It's not clear to me yet whether or not that passion is being directed in the right way. Well, I didn't expect to be making a decision today. I still have more information that I need to get in Solitude to see what things are like there. But I will speak with this Galmar.
Helgen, huh? Ulfric told us quite the story. If you made it through all that, you're likely worth something to me. Yeah, but first, tell me, why does a foreigner want to fight for Skyrim?
A foreigner? Well, I may not have been born in Skyrim, but my mother was. Edda Wintertongue. And because of that, well, Skyrim is her home. And I suppose that makes it my home, too.
Fair enough. But are you willing to die for your home?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. This isn't a decision that I'm ready to make yet, but I do want to let you know that when it's time for me to make that decision, I will be ready to fight.
All right. But before I can put you to use, I need to know how much you can take. I have a little test for you.
A test? What kind of test do you have in mind?
The kind men use to measure themselves. I'm sending you to Serpentstone Island. If you survive, you pass. If you die, well, you weren't going to be much use to me anyway.
Oh, well. What's at Serpentstone Island?
It's where men have tested their metal for ages. It's a strange rock formation built by the ancients. Something about that place attracts the ice wraiths. You kill an ice wraith out there, and I'll have all the proof I need about you.
Is this something that every recruit has to do?
Only the ones I'm not sure about.
I see.
It will prove your abilities, but more importantly, it will prove your commitment.
Well, to be honest, I am not yet ready to make that commitment. I am not sure about this at all.
When you kill that ice wraith, then we'll talk about you becoming a Stormcloak.
Interesting fellow. Galmar Stonefist. I suppose Rolf Stonefist must be his brother, maybe? Related to him, certainly. Excuse me.
I've spent my life serving Talos. I don't plan to stop now, no matter what the Empire says.
Oh, you're one of the priests. Do you mind if I speak with you for a moment?
Talos created the Empire. You'd think they'd show him more respect.
Indeed. It's an unfortunate situation that we have.
The way I see it, Ulfric's fighting a holy war.
But it's more than just about Talos, isn't it?
Someday all of Skyrim will worship Talos openly, as we do here.
Well, I certainly hope that's true. I certainly hope that all of Tamriel will someday be able to worship Talos openly. But I'm not sure that that day will be coming anytime soon. Even if that's what Ulfric is fighting for.